Hello friends, welcome to today's GCC class, and in this class we will start our 5th unit security. So under this the first topic is trust models for grid security environment, and in this class we will see the need for grid security, trust definition, reputation definition, trust models for grid security environment, security demand and trust index, challenges in trust based system, and finally the generalized trust model. And these are the topics we will cover in today's class. Before that, first let us see the importance of grid security, that is need for grid security. And here grids are used to share the processing resources. The resources are very expensive and both hardware and software resources are there, and those resources will be shared among many organizations to solve large scale problems. So to protect our resources, security is very important to overcome the issues. What are the issues we are facing in the grid environment? First one is network sniffers, out of control access, faulty operations, malicious operations, integration of local security mechanisms, delegations, dynamic resource and services, and so on. So to overcome these issues, the security is very important to protect our very expensive resources. Next, let us see the term trust. Here the trust is associated with belief, and belief is a dynamic value which is associated with an entity. The entity here is the grid environment along with its resources and services. Trust is based on entity's behavior and applies only within a specific context at given time. Here context means a situation. Context means a situation. So based on the situation, the trust value may be changed, and the value range is 0 to 1. If the trust value is 1 means very trustworthy, and if trust value is 0 means very untrustworthy, and it is based on the past experience. So based on the past experience, the current trust value may be changed dynamically, and the situation, that is trust is situation based, that is under different situation the trust value may be changed. The important trust based attributes are: the first one is trust model, security policy, accumulated reputation, self defense capability, attack history, and site vulnerability. So these are the important trust based attributes. And next let us see what is reputation. So while making the trust based decisions, entity can rely on others for information regarding to a specific entity. That is, we are going to make a trust based decision for a particular entity, we need to gather the information from others. Based on others' opinion, we can give the trust based decisions on that particular entity. So the information regarding a specific entity X, which is defined as the reputation of the entity. And what is actually reputation? The reputation of an entity is an expectation of its behavior, of an entity's behavior, based on the entity's observations, that is other entities' observation. What others are giving their opinion about a particular entity, or otherwise the information about the entity's past behavior with a specific context, or otherwise a specific situation at a given time period. So within this time period, how this entity behaved in past. So based on that also we can give the trust based decisions. Trust models for grid security environment. So if a qualified security mechanisms are not placed in a grid environment, the security issues may be occurred. What are the security issues? The first one is network sniffers, out of control access, faulty operations, malicious operations, integration of local security mechanisms, and delegation, dynamic resources and services, and so on. So these are the security issues that may occur in a grid environment if we don't have a qualified security mechanisms. Next, let us see what is security demand and trust index. The security demand means a user job demands the resource site to provide security assurance by issuing the security demand. And second one is trust index. The sites needs to expose its trustworthiness, which is called as trust index. And these two parameters, which parameters? SD and TI. Okay, these two parameters must satisfy a security assurance condition, that is, the trust index should be greater than or equal to the security demand during the job mapping process. When determining the security demand, the user cares about some typical attributes, and the attributes and their value are dynamically changing based on the trust model, security policy, accumulated reputation, self-defense capability, attack history, and site vulnerability. So based on these things, the trust value will be changed dynamically. And there are three challenges are outlined below to establish trust among grid sites. Here the first challenge is integration with existing systems and technologies, and the second challenge is interoperability with different hosting environment, and the third one is construct trust relationship among interacting hosting environments. Let us see all these three challenges in detail. The first one is integration with existing systems and technologies. Here the resources in grid environment are heterogeneous in nature and they are autonomous also. Hence, a single type of security mechanisms cannot be well suited for entire grid environment, and we cannot adopt that single security mechanism by every hosting environment. And existing security infrastructure on the sites cannot be replaced overnight. So it will take some time to update the existing security infrastructure. Hence, the grid security architecture needs to overcome the challenges of integrating with existing security architectures and models across platforms and hosting environments. So the overcoming challenges is very important from the existing security infrastructure. The second one is interoperability with different hosting environment. Here the services that will be accessed across multiple domains and need to be interact with one another, that is the services will be interacted with one another. So this interoperation demands the protocol, policy and identity levels. For all these levels, that is protocol, policy and identity levels, the interoperation must be protected securely. So this is called as interoperability with different hosting environment. The third one is construct a trust relationship among interacting hosting environment. The grid service request can be handled by combining resources on multiple security domains, and trust relationships are required by these domains during end-to-end traversals. A service needs to be open to friendly and interested entities so that they can submit requests and access securely. The next one is trust model. Resource sharing among entities is one of the major goals of grid computing. That is, in the grid computing, the main goal is sharing resources among the entities. And a trust relationship must be established before the sharing of resources. And to create a proper trust relationship between the grid entities, we need two kinds of trust models. First one is PKI based model, that is public key infrastructure. Public key infrastructure, which is used for authentication and authorize the entities. And second one is the reputation based models. So these two are very good trust models that should be implemented on the grid environment to share the resources among the entities. The generalized trust model. Here, three factors are important to compute the trustworthiness of any resource site. And the inference module is required to aggregate these factors. The factors are, first one is defense capability and second one is direct reputation and third one is recommended trust. The first one is defense capability, which is decided by firewall, intrusion detection system, intrusion response capability, antivirus capacity of an individual resource site. And second one is direct reputation. It is decided based on the job success rate, site utilization, job turnaround time and job slowdown ratio measured. And the third one is recommended trust, which is also known as secondary trust and is obtained indirectly over the other grid network. And this diagram explains the general trust model for grid computing. Here the trustworthiness having three components. First one is defense capability, second one is direct reputation and third one is recommended trust. The defense capability, which includes intrusion detection, response capabilities, antivirus capacity and firewall. And the second, direct reputation, that involves job success ratio, job turnaround time, job slowdown ratio and site utilization. The third one is recommendation trust, which is otherwise called as secondary trust. That is, the information should be gathered from other grid sites. Up to this we have seen the trust models for grid security environment, and under this topic we have seen need for grid security, definition of trust, definition of reputation, trust models for grid security environment, security demand and trust index, and three challenges of trust based system and the generalized trust model. And for more information please go through your textbook. Thank you.